work well. And in this lesson, we're going to explore rendering styles, at least my styles. We've got 3 or 4 different styles to work with here, and we'll start off with a single weight style. I don't like the single weight style at all. You've got to start someplace. These drawings usually look to me like something that came out of a instruction manual from a cheap product I picked up that was made in some foreign country. They're just lazy is all. They're sort of like engineering drawings that nobody bothered to polish up. So anyway, with these shapes that we've got going here, we've got a simple little project here. Okay, we're going to start with this hexagon head up here. And there's several ways to make a hexagon head. The way I've done all these pieces here was just to create one shape and then clone it. I also use the keyboard shortcut C for the scissor tool, and we're going to use that right now. And on this bottom shape of this hexagon, I'm just going to clip here, I'm going to clip over there, and I'm going to hold down the Control or Command key and delete that piece right there. Then I'm going to go up here, select that point, and just move that up here like that. And notice how it sort of snaps. Watch how the blue line there sort of snaps when it gets straight. Pink, there it is. And we know we've got a nice straight path there. But we're seeing through it. That doesn't really do what we want it to do. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to give it a white path. I mean a white fill. Okay, so now we've shown through there, solved that whole problem, haven't we? Okay, we need various lines going down here to show the edges of it, and for that we'll just use the line segment tool. Start at one corner, hold down the Shift key, move up, go over here, hold down the Shift key and move up. Now we could have done that with the pen tool, but there's 2 problems. You do it with the pen tool, you've got to make sure that you're right on a point, and right on a point here, and get it to go straight up. Then you've got to deselect it, go over here and do the other path. The line segment tool, this is one of the few times I use the line segment tool, frankly, is in that particular instance, and for some reason I move things around there. Okay. Alright, now let's take care of the cylinder that's supporting this hexagon head. Again, we've got just a plain cylinder down here, nothing fancy. I'm going to cut this off here, cut that off there. And if I undo twice, Command Z, if I would have gone this way, which is what I try to do, and then this way, that leaves the part that I don't want exposed. Hit delete twice and it's gone, saves me another step. So now I'm going to hit the pen tool, and I'm going to watch my cursor as I get over here. We get the slash, means we're going to connect with that path. I'm just going to go up here someplace, deselect, go over here, select, go up here, click that, give it a white fill, and we're going to send it to the back. And then we'll send this to the back. That solves that problem. So you can see how quick that was, right? That's why they like these kind of renderings in places that use them. This pair of cylinders is going to be a cylinder that's raised off the surface of this block that we've got here. There's a couple different ways we can do it. Instead of using the scissor tool this time, I'm going to use the direct selection tool. Select here, here, and here. I drag, but I would have selected that, then I've got to play around with trying to kill that. Go up here and click this little button, cut path at selected anchor points. And now those guys are gone. I can click here, hit backspace or delete twice, and that takes care of that problem. We select this one here and lock it just because it's going to be in the way. That's Command 2 or Control 2. So select here, go up here and connect those guys, go over here, broke my rule, connect there. Okay, now fill this with white. We see that we've got the right stroke there. I could actually have just clicked that and been just as easy. But we've lost our curve in the background. We can go to outline view here, find that curve. Oh, I locked that curve. So Command Option or Control Alt 2 to bring that back live. Bring it forward, and we'll go back to our preview mode, and we've taken care of that piece. This piece here goes all the way through. To show what I mean, select these two guys. They're the same height as the slab is. So let me undo that twice. And so we have to show that there's a hole here, not just a line or something. There's actually a hole, which is the air. There's air in this spot here. So again, you're stuck with ellipses, and you can do a lot of cutting and splicing, but it's really easy this time to select this one and bring it forward, and then clone it. Okay, so we'll use the action that I've created to clone it, and I'm going to hide it as well. And now I'm going to select the two of them, and I'm going to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, and that gives me my inner path, but we lose as a factor of the way the clipping path works, we lose any attributes that the clipping path itself had. We don't have any fill, we don't have any color. You've got this thing all confused here because it's selecting this object and this object, so it can't tell you what you've got. If we give this a stroke right now, it'll change both of them. I'll go right here, we'll give it a red. We're on the stroke, we'll click in here. So you notice that we've got both of the strokes have been turned red. Well, we don't want that, so we'll Command Z that, or Control Z, and instead we'll bring back or show our original ellipse. And now we don't have to do anything, it's all set. Now this one over here is about half the thickness of this, so we've just got we've just drilled a little hole in the top of it, and we haven't gone all the way through. So for this one, we're going to do just about the same way. I can't see any reason. Well, okay, I'll show you another way to do it. We could just click here, hit the C key, pop that, hit delete or backspace twice, and you've taken care of that. Now the difference is, with this one here, we've selected the outer box here. With this, let me lock this part out here. Command 2. With this part here, we've got two separate objects. We've got the inner stroke and we've got the outer stroke. Here we've got the two separate objects, but okay, now I'll click this one and hide it. Okay, if I hide that, I can still edit this shape. Okay, since this shape is inside here, I can select it with the direct selection tool. Oops. I can select it with the direct selection tool, and I can change the curvature of that path. Okay, bring it down. I can do whatever I want to. Where this one, you don't have the luxury of having the whole path anymore. Also, this one, let me hit undo a couple, 3 times here. Okay, this one we could give a fill. If we're working in color, we'll give it a red fill, and that fills in the whole inside. If we fill this one here, what do we get? You see how it cuts it off, it slices it in half, it's going from point to point. This one, it's filling in that whole area. So there's advantages to both methods. Bring that back. Okay, zoom back out, and there you have a single line weight drawing. Now to me, I find that extremely boring and ugly. My sensitivities are they're just shattered. So I'm going to select the whole thing. I didn't select. We've got something locked here. See, I dragged all the way over here, and these didn't get selected. Nope, I got the type up there. This isn't selected. That means I've got it locked. So we'll do unlock. Command Option 2, Control Alt 2. Now we've got everything. We'll copy. Open up our Layers panel. We'll go to the wire outline, and we'll paste it there. See if it worked. It didn't work. Move it up here. Okay. Now we're on the single wire. We're on the wire outline mode here. Now for this one, just to add just a little bit of class, really quick, just to dress it up just a tad, select the whole thing, and we clone it. Okay. I'll go through it the hard way here. We'll copy. We'll paste in back, and we'll go to the Pathfinder tools, and we'll use the Unite, which gives us one big solid piece. we'll fill it, we'll fill it with white, and we'll increase the stroke to 4 points and send it to back. And there you go. And see that in just a few seconds we've got a whole different look than we had with the single weight. See the difference there? Okay, that gives me a little bit more class. I'm a little happier with that. There's a little more excitement to it. You know, it's not earth-shattering. It's nothing I'm going to write home about. There's also a few other attributes going on here that I've got to point out. It's my duty to point this out. You'll notice that we've got this heavy, beefy line going all the way around here, but it gets here and it gets thin. Oh, what's going on there? Well, that's because our stroke, as you know, is going right down. It's splitting the middle of the path. Okay? Well, it's doing it here too. And we filled these paths up here with white. So in order to make this thing, this path work correctly, we've got to select our outside path, and we can do that really easily by selecting the inside, which is filled with white. Go to the stroke panel and click the outside box, and now we've got our perfectly outlined wire outline. We call that, is because it looks like somebody wrapped it up with a wire. Okay, that's 2 down and 1 to go. Let's close this and we'll try another one here. We'll go up here to the multi-line weight. So in this one we outline a little bit differently. We're not going to use a lot of the things that we did before. So I'm going to zoom in. We'll take the hexagon again first. And this time we have to assume there's sort of a light source. Let me zoom back out again. We're going to assume that there's a light source. Let me draw a circle here. Go up here. And we'll fill that with orange. Okay. And we'll take away the stroke. Okay. That's our light source up there. Okay. It's in back of our drawing. That's hard to believe. But usually it's over here. So we'll leave it right there. Someplace over in this range is where you want to put it, where you figure it's going to come from. It's nothing mind-shattering or anything. That's just the way we think. Okay, this time, in order to make my paths, we're going to do some different cuts here. I'm going to cut this here, cut that there. I should have cut it the other direction. Delete that. I'll bring this up here. Straight. Bring that up there, make it straight. We're going to use 3 or 4 different line weights, first of all. So I'm going to draw a line here. And I'm going to clone it by holding down the Option or Alt key and dragging it down here. Then I'm going to hit Command D again. Okay, this path here, I'm going to give a weight of 2 points, 2.5 points, excuse me. And this one I'm going to give, well, I can just scroll to it there, 2 points. This one is 1 point, and this one is a half point. Now, depending on your drawing, how big the drawing is going to be, you can change the line weights. You can go down to a 1/4 point. You can go up to as many points as you want. I wouldn't get much more beyond this. You can't go below a 1/4 point. Most laser printers will not print smaller than a 1/4 point anyway. So if you put a 1/10 of a point there, you're going to get a 1/4 point line. So might as well live with it. I'm selecting all these things, and I'm going to give them a round end cap because that's the way I am. I'm also going to group this. I can move it any place on the stage I want to, so I can get at it easily. And I'll show you why this is preferable to using the strokes panel. For me anyway. You can work the way you like to. So I'm going to bring this over here. This outer path now is a little different than the other path that we had. Hit the C key for the scissors. I'm going to clip on that corner and that corner. We're going to make that a half point line by holding down the I key, turning into the eyedropper. I'm going to click my half point line, and we've changed it. And that saved me a trip over here. Saved me a trip to the toolbox, clicking around, scrolling, all that other kind of stuff. Okay, this path here, it was going to be an outside bold. We're going to use sort of a wire outline, but not a full wire outline. We're going to let a little light and shade into this one here. So I'm going to click this one here. And this path right here, I've decided I'm going to change that. This one I'm going to change that to a 3. Make it a little more discernible. There we go. Okay. So this is where the highlight is coming from on this side of it. The light is coming from the back, so there's a little highlight there. There's an edge there, but our shadow is over on this side of everything. So right here, we'll select this guy, hit the C key again. We're going to have a shadow edge here, shadow, 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 and then a highlight edge there. So I'm going to break this here, and I'm going to give this, with the I key again, I'm going to give that a 3 weight. Hold down the Command or Option key, click that one, and we'll give that a 2 weight. Okay, we need some lines in here. So back to our line segment tool, and start at the skinny point, or start at the thinner of the 2 lines, because it's more obvious when you draw your line. I'll do another one over here. Okay, back out a little bit, and they're the wrong line weight. That's okay. Hold down the Command Shift key, Control Shift, and we'll hold down click the I key, and we'll give this a 1 point line. No, we'll give it a half point, excuse me. Okay, because that's a corner. All right. Now, what about this thing going in here? Well, we've still got a cylinder to go through here. So let's take our cylinder out of play first. Hit the Command Control key to select this. Hit C key to go to the scissors. Click. Click. I went backwards again. Delete that. Line segment tool. Line segment tool. I didn't go to the pen tool this time. Going up to here. And over here, like that. Now these 2 guys are heavy hitters, so by heavy hitters that means that they're standing in front of something, so we've got to get them some extra weight. So we'll give them a 2 stroke, and this is a curve down here. We can leave that a 1. You could give it a half point stroke if you wanted to. Going from a 2 to a half stroke is pretty abrupt, I guess is the key word here. So I'm not going to cut this down. Okay, now we hold down the Command Control key, click this one here, hit the C key, click that point right there, click that point right there, Command Control key, delete that path. Okay, you can see where we're headed with this. Now see how much more life you're getting out of this drawing than you were before? These have to be heavier here. This one here has to be heavier. Lost my tool. I tool. Boom, we're already there. Okay. And now since I raised that, we're up a little bit. Okay. Okay, here we are with our 2 cylinders. Direct Selection tool, trim, click, click, trim. Okay, now we're going to have a lighter highlight on the top, or a lighter bold outline on the outside part. A little bit different color in here, different color there. It's going to get kind of screwy here. You have to really plan these out. Sometimes you have to do it more than once. These 2 paths aren't going to change, except this is going to become a half point stroke. And so I'm going to select the other one and lock them both. Now this one here, click the C key, is going to be bold on the outside edge. That's on the inside, so that's okay. So we'll hit the P tool, go from here down to here, and then hit the C tool and click there. Okay. Over here we'll use the line segment tool, go from there to there. Okay, now this line out here is on the outside, and it should be the same weight as this one here. So hit the I tool, and we'll even click that one right there. This could actually be that weight too. Let's also make this a 2-point stroke. Now see, there we go. It did this little weird thing. If I click it again, it'll be okay. And then this path down here, I also want to be the same weight. Okay. Now I've got this line here to monkey with. Let's just cut that right now. Better select it. Cut there and cut there. Command key down, Control key, delete that. Select this path and hit the eye tool and make it heavy. Okay, down here. Taking care of those guys. Okay, this one we've got our inside hole that's going all the way through. So we'll make our path basically the same way. We'll select this, we'll clone it and hide it, and make sure that it's in front. Select the other one, do object, where am I going? Clipping mask, make. And this line down here now has to be a heavy stroke like that, okay, because it's showing an outside edge. So, lost my tools here. Grab my tools, bring them over here. So, in order to get at that point, again, if this was selected, I was selecting that, and I hit my eye tool, and I clicked on something like that, who knows what we're going to get. Here we got our outside edge is bold, but nothing happened in there. So we'll hit Command Z, and go to the Direct Selection tool, and click that path, click the eye tool, click there. That gives us our heavy weight. Notice how nicely it got trimmed there. Bring back our other shape, and hit the C key, and we have to cut it in half now to give it its proper line weight. This is the one we want to make heavier, so hit the eye tool, go there, and you've got your cut hole all the way through the block. Here it's a little bit different again. Click this and clone it and hide it. Make sure that's on top. Select the both of them, object, clipping mask, make. And now this one is an inside curve, so that's got to be a lighter stroke again. So back to the Direct Selection tool. Here's our tools over here. Hold down the I key, or click the I key, make that a half-point stroke. Bring back my original circle. Hit the C key. There we go. And make this, again, the same as the other one. Because it's the same cutting edge here. Hold down hit the I key and give it that heavy line weight. And see the difference between this showing a hole with a flat bottom on it and this a hole all the way through it. Okay, all we've got left is the outside edge. So we're going to have to break it in a couple places. Get the C key, go here and here. This guy and this guy are going to be that weight. This guy on the outside here is going to be this weight. It's the heaviest one. And this one here will be a corner. So to get that right there. Did I hit it? Doesn't look like I hit it. There we go. And there's your drawing. With multiple line weights. Okay, so take that out of the way. Now you can go one step further. Let's copy this. Copy. Let's go for a new layer. And didn't mean to double click that. It's the live layer, and we'll paste it on that layer. And we'll hide this guy here. We had this looks really dumb, doesn't it? This is what'll happen here. This is real life. This is from the trenches. What happened here and why I had that dumb period of silence there is we've got a whole bunch of objects locked on that previous layer. So let's hit delete there. Go back to our multi-line weight. Do Command Option 2 or Control Alt 2 And now we can select everything. Now we can copy. Where did I? Wrong menu. Copy. Go up here. Close that off. And paste. And we get the whole deal. So now we've got all this stuff around us. You've got a nice drawing. It's selling. It shows, depth and form and shape and everything, but it's still kind of bland. So you can do just really simple things like take a rounded rectangle, and you can put a frame around it. Okay, let's give that a nice beefy. Let's give it a 3 point. Let's go 4 points, and that looks pretty good. But if instead we had saved all these pieces before, like we had in the wire outline, let me bring that up here, close that off, select this part there. That's our white fill from the background. Okay, let's copy that. Let's bring it over to layer 4, and let's paste it in here. We'll call it paste in front, see if it fits. It doesn't fit. Move it over to there. Send that to the back. Okay. Kill the weight. Let's kill the stroke. We've just got a white fill there now. Okay, now we've got our rounded rectangle. Now look how much just doing something simple like this, sending that to the back. Look how much that adds to your drawing, how much more life you've got by giving it dimension. It's coming out of that box, and you've got light and shade and shadow and everything else going on there. This line here is the wrong weight. That should be, I'm always monkeying around. That should be a half point. Okay. And there you go. That's a little bit on how to render. There's not an awful lot to it, but you can change for the style of drawing, the amount of money you're being paid, what size it's going to be. As this gets smaller, it still reads pretty good. But if you go over here to the single weight drawing, that doesn't look so good, does it? Look at the difference between those two. Or this one. Or that one. So it just depends on what you need, what your client's budget is, and what your time is worth. So move on to another lesson. Thank you.